Hello everyone, I trust you're keeping good. Alright, today we'll be going into learning step by step of how to measure our MEP work. Our MEP work, I mean mechanical, electrical and plumbing item of work. This is another trade of work that most people don't pay attention to or don't really know how to go about taking measurement for them. And this video is going to cover the step-by-step of how you're going to measure for your MEP work. It's important that I point out this: the principle of measurement remains the same as long as you're using Planswift, but the terminologies that we use in different countries might vary. So what you're going to be paying attention to is the method of taking your measurement from the software. Now I'll go ahead and upload our drawing and also scale the drawing for us to be able to take our measurement. If you don't know how to do that, you can check my previous video on how to upload a drawing and scale a drawing and how to use most of the tools that are on this user interface. Okay, so this video tutorial is going to be a bit long, and the reason for that is because I want to be able to accommodate all the necessary things that you need to learn and to be able to measure for your MEP work. Once you're able to watch through this video, then you should be able to take measurement for your MEP work. And then I also want to point out, very important, you get yourself familiar with the drawings that you need to take measurement for when it comes to MEP works, this trade of work. Again, you have to also get yourself familiar with the architectural drawings, more especially the sectional drawings, because that is going to give you the height or the length of your riser pipes and other pipes like the vent pipes and all of that. So you're going to be able to read that drawing and then get your total length from them, even though the software will also help you do that. I will take you through this measurement and then I will combine it. It's going to be more like a physical measurement where I'll be showing you on the software. I will show you the drawings that you need to use for your measurement. And because this is a project that myself is deeply involved in currently, I'll be able to take you through and show you some pictures of how this plumbing work or this mechanical work have been implemented on site. I think that's going to give you, a better understanding when it comes to the MEP drawing measurement. So please sit back and let's get on it. Okay, so once you are ready to measure, then another thing I want you to pay attention to are these numbers that you see on these drawings or that are being attached to the pipes. So this blue line represents the pipe layout, and these numbers also represent a particular particular item here on the plumbing drawing. So if you come to the legend, you can see that each of these numbers, like 1, represent the proposed borehole submerged in a manhole. So all these numbers you have to read and recognize what they are so that you don't use number 1 for number 4, right? Okay, so this is the site plan for the water supply. Of course, if you see clearly, you will know that we have the arrangement of the water transfer pump and other arrangement that helps to make provision for this water for this very building. On this particular video, I won't be going in detail explaining what this whole arrangement is, but our major focus is going to be on the pipe fittings and on the sanitary appliances. All right, so on a separate video I will explain the arrangement, the general arrangement of this particular system, right? These pipes have different diameters, and here is another principle that I want to make you understand. The supply, or the principle of supply of fluid, goes from the higher diameter to the smaller diameter. And then let me point out that and explain better in the next drawing, as we'll not be using the site plan water supply system for our measurement. So let's switch over to the next drawing, our ground floor plan water supply system. So if you check through this drawing, you will see on the legend that will have different sizes of water supply pipe. Of course, we have 32 mm diameter pipe. We have also the 20 mm diameter pipe. Basically, the 32 mm diameter pipe serves as the ones that supply the 20 mm diameter pipe, and majorly they are the ones that are on this dot. So they are the riser pipes supplying the different floors. You can see the pipe we saw on the previous drawing, that is the pipe on the site plan for the water supply system. You can see that's the pipe that is terminated here. So this pipe is coming from the transfer pump all the way to this pipe on this dot. So from this dot, this pipe will distribute to different floors as it is going up, and that is why you need, alongside while you measure this, or while you measure for your plumbing item of work, that you have the sectional drawings on the architectural drawings, so that you see the arrangement. And here is what I mean by that. If you check these drawing, the sectional drawings. Okay, so this is one of the sectional drawings. I already labeled that, so you can see that will have different heights for these floors. This height is 3650, while this other floor is 3150. So you don't assume the last floor or the paint floor is around 3000 meter, around 3000 millimeter rather. And what this particular plan helps you to do, or this sectional drawing helps you to do, is so that you don't assume any figure. Yes, of course, you have to use this drawing to be able to determine the height of each of these pipes. Okay, so let me go back to our drawing where we want to take measurement. Okay, so the pipe we're going to measure is the one that is labeled 6, and 6 is 20 mm ID code water supply pipe in floor screed. So this is the ground floor, and this pipe are buried under the floor screed. So I'll go ahead and click the linear tool, then I'll type the name 20 mm diameter pipe, or you can go ahead and write code water under screed. That is if you want to do all of this. If not, you can just say 20 mm diameter pipe, right? And then you can also choose the color, your most preferred color, and then you say okay. So you can also choose how to take measurement for this. If you're a contractor or you're measuring for a consultant, this group of guys measure differently, and it's left for you to know which side you're standing, and then take measurement for that in accordance with your company and how you guys or how you people take measurement for the pipe work. Yes, so I'll start from this one that is starting from this sanitary appliance, and from here you can see that we have added to them, we have pipe fittings. So it's there for you to know if you're going to measure in between the pipe fittings, okay, this is a valve, or you're going to measure across the this arrow indicates the direction of flow, or you're going to measure across each of these pipe fittings. Okay, so all of these you can zoom and to see where these pipes are going. So you're going to measure all the way. So at this point I'm measuring as if there is no pipe fitting that is existing on this particular length of pipe. You can click here. If you really want to get this curve, then you click on your hard key A and then click on the middle of the arc. Click. You zoom in. Then we'll come to this point where it is connected to the 32 diameter pipe, which is our riser pipe, and then you double click to stop. And then you can see that on the left hand side of our window we already have the length of this pipe to be 24.3 meter. Okay, we also have this that is under the screed, our 20 diameter pipe for cold water supply to the sanitary appliances all the way to this place. Again, I want to also point out that some of these pipes are going through the wall. For example, number 3 is also talking about the same size or diameter of pipe that we are taking measurement for. That is the 20 diameter pipe, and then 15 millimeter diameter. Of course, in some areas they will use the same diameter. They will use same diameter for both cold water and hot water supply. But why they have to differentiate this is because this is in wall. Of course, when this pipe that is 20 comes through this angle on the screeded bed, then getting up to this point where we have our wall, there's going to be like a riser pipe that is going to take up this very 20 and then distribute it to the sanitary appliances. So this particular one that is going through the wall is our number 3 here, which is our 20 cold water or hot water supply pipe that is in wall at low level. So at this point you can see that we have over measured that of our 20 cold water supply that is under the screed. So we are supposed to terminate it somewhere around here, somewhere around here, and then the others are going to be for the 20 which is in the wall. But why I don't want to really separate that is because they are the same diameter. It's going to be the same material that we're going to use for these work. So there's no need of separating it, but if you wish to, you can also go ahead and do that. Again, it is important that you note that you add that height. Let's say the sanitary appliance, maybe your wash hand basin or your sink is mounted, like for example this double sink is mounted at the height of, let's say, maybe 1.2 meter at the height of 0.9 meter, then you have to be able to know that yes, there's a particular pipe that is going to go up to that height, and then when you take your calculations, your final calculations, you're going to be adding up that height to your measurement. So don't always forget that you're going to have that height added to it depending on the height or the level at which your sanitary appliances is being mounted. Again, there is another pipe that we are kind of omitting, but since we are on it, let me also point that out. You see there are smaller pipes that are connected from that 20 mm pipe that is in the wall, that is in the wall, to the sanitary appliance. In some cases they use some flexible pipe, so those ones serve as fittings now, but in some cases they connect directly to the appliance, so to the other particular appliances. So for this particular one, you can complete this. Of course, this one is pipe because it's also showing us the blue line, so we add that to our measurement. Is there another place? Okay, so we also have these ones that are in wall and the ones that went through the screeded bed, and this one is coming all the way down to this WC. This WC is the S-trap type of WC. Remember, we have the P-trap and then we have the S-trap type of WC. Most times your S-trap type of WC is mounted on the ground floor, so, and we are on the ground floor, so majorly there is like a pan connector from these okay, so we have a particular pipe which is supplying this very WC, and from this point, to this place, is there's no height on that, so you might not bother yourself adding any height on this particular place and then to this place. Okay, remember, we're not adding this particular one because this is the one that is supplying our 32 mm riser pipe. And if you come back to this, you discover that this pipe here is our pipe number 4, which says 32 millimeter pipe, cold water ID cold water pipe, supply pipe in ground floor, from transfer pump to supply roof tank. So the riser pipe is going all the way to the roof tank, and that takes care of our measurement. So for me, what I'm going to do is to create a badge and place in these places where we have these vertical pipes. That's mostly around the sanitary appliances, so that I don't forget that yes, there are heights of pipes that I'm supposed to add to my takeoff, and the software gives you that leverage to be able to add notes, and myself, I call it badge. So I can quickly come to note, and once I click on note, it will ask me to click on the note point, and once I click and drag here, you will see that there's a wizard that's going to come up, and I will type that particular height. The assumption here is that I am using 1.2, or that I'm mounting my sink at the height of 1.2. You can choose to customize the size of your text. One is going to be much, you can use 0.5, and then if you're okay with this color, you can leave it at yellow. And how do you want to leave your text? Is it going to be left aligned, center aligned, or right aligned? So it depends on what you want. And then the text color, all of these you can customize, and you then click OK. Right, you might not see the text come up, but you will have to drag to an extent so that you can see, because the size of this text is actually 1, as you can see from that place, but I changed mine to 0.5. So if you keep on reducing the size of the text, once you click and then write your text, you'll be able to see it. But at this point, you can see that this particular one is 1.2 and is clearly written. So I can copy this, Ctrl C on her key, and also paste. So I can drag it and come somewhere around here where I have this sanitary appliance, which is my sink. Remember, in some areas you have some of these pipes coming up in 2 places. So you count the number of places where you have this vertical pipe and you include them on your measurement. Okay, another thing I want to point out is our fittings. Okay, let me turn off the measurement for our pipe and then show us how we count these fittings. Our fittings are being counted. Yes. How do you count these fittings? You see, in places where you have this bend, you use your elbow, or what we call the bend. And then we have also the T junctions where you're going to be using our T's, and this is how you keep on counting and counting. Places where you have your sockets, where you have joints, there are places where you have to join to pipe of same diameter, so you use socket, so you have to know all of that. There are places where you have to use some elbows that are not just 90 degrees. There are some of them that are 45 degrees elbow. There are some of them that are 90 degrees elbow. So you have to note all of these things so that by the time you are counting, you don't miss out on any of them. So I'll go ahead and count my fittings. I'll click on the count tool, and then I can now I can go ahead and type the name of the fittings that I want to count. For example, I want to start with my elbow. You can also indicate, because some of these elbows comes in as a reducer elbow. We can have reducer elbow, and what I mean by that is that the one part of the elbow is going to be larger than the other sides, which means you're reducing from the larger size of the pipe to the smaller size diameter of the pipe. And once you click OK, you can now count. So here there's going to be an elbow, so I'll count 1, then I have my 2 here, I have another elbow, another elbow, I think that's all. Then I'll right click and stop. If I also want to count, for example, my T's, I will also do the same thing. I will click on my count tool. This time, T's. You can go further by typing the diameter of that T. So at this point, we're going to have a T. Is that all? Okay. And if you find out that you've omitted any of the pipe fittings that you're supposed to count, one thing is that this software gives you that flexibility to be able to continue from wherever you've made a mistake and then add all of that to your measurement. So you can see that's all as regards our T. If you zoom in on this particular place, you will see that there's another pipe which is going to this same sink, and that should be for our hot water. Of course, our hot water is 15 mm diameter pipe, even though we've assumed that we're using the same size of pipe. So it also has that elbow here, and around this part is going to have an elbow. So you can count all of that, and that's how you take measurement for your fittings, and you can go ahead and describe. Okay, so the last thing I want to show us is going to be this label 1, which is our 32mm ID cold water supply pipe rises in dot to go supply roof tank. Okay, so how do we take measurement for all of this, right? Remember, I introduced you to the other part of the drawing, which has our section. Okay, so if we go back to that, you will notice that this pipe is going to go all the way from our ground floor, and then it will go across this height of 3.65 meter, 3.15 meter, 3 meter, and then we're going to have our water tank at this level. It's not going to terminate at this point where we have this 3.0 meter. Is going to go all the way to the height of that tank. So what would determine the height? We're going to add, from this point to the place where you're going to have that tank is the size of the tank, and you can also check your drawing to see the details of the water tank, right? And then be able to include the offset of this vertical pipe that is in dot, right? And then you will know the height or the length of the total pipe that you need for the riser pipe, which is our 32mm supply pipe. So that is how you take your measurement for your riser pipes, or in the case where you want to take measurement for your vent pipe. The principle is the same. I might not go into explaining that of drainage pipes, because it's the same principle with supply pipe. So if you're able to understand what I've done in this tutorial, then you're going to be able to understand how to take measurement for your drain pipe, because like I said, it's going to be the same principle. And thank you for watching.